What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know if you have a long-term portfolio, it's down a little bit, but like there's life outside the stock market. So I hope you guys are still doing all right. Hope everyone's hanging in there. We got AJ now. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert. Good morning to Amy, Anna, Andy. Andy, good morning to you. We got Bill, Brad, Brian, Doug, Frank, Joe, JT, Keith, Kevin, Lauren, Lucian, Lydia, Mark, Marius. Good morning. We got everybody now. It's Martina. Good morning to you. Michelle. Good morning to you. Mike. Good morning to you. Peter, Rob, Saint is in the house. Good morning to Tim, Virginia, Wendy, William, all my people out in YouTube land. Good morning to all of you. We got Clarice coming in first in the comment section. Good morning to you. We got Leonard, Daniel, LC, Big Dream, Cornell. Good morning. Cornell saying buy the dip. Mari Mar in the house. Whew, we got some sell-off. Yeah, I think Taiwan was down like 10% overnight. International uh, markets all getting crushed. The U.S. no different, but according to Trump, we're just in some surgery right now. I think he said we had surgery. We're trying to recover. I don't know. I'm trying to get. I don't. I'm not. I didn't know I needed to be a doctor to trade the market, but in this case, maybe. Lucian says carnage is everywhere. So yeah, I posted this in Slack a few minutes ago. But there's two ways to look at everything, right? Obviously, there's perspective in this market. This is the weekly chart. If you're sitting in here and we closed last week below August 2024. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're down about 7 months. We're opening below the April 2024 zone. So almost we've given up about a full year of market gains. This is not a good location for the market. It is a big retest from last week. We are news dependent, so if we get any news about tariffs, we'll probably rip. If we have Trump who came in over the weekend, he's been kind of reinforcing the fact that he doesn't look like he's going to budge, but there's going to be fear padding. I think fear levels were at the highest since COVID. What happened since COVID? The market is found its ground. It kind of rampaged back. I don't know. I mean, that is a very COVID. Obviously, there's a certain almost time limit to it where fear, panic, businesses shutting down. Who knows what's going to happen? And then you start to get a clear cut of like, okay, problem solved. Market starts to rip, comes back in heavy. This one is a little bit different than that situation where we almost will have, I think, some kind of capitulation at some point. It might not be here yet, but at some point, there's going to be some kind of agreement made one way or the other. How long it lasts, we have no idea. But there is going to be some selling, some panic. There's going to be some margin calls probably within even maybe today's opening hours. Who knows? But there's also going to be on the other side of that coin huge opportunities for a lot of people, including the younger generation, where they don't have the same opportunity if they're getting started in the markets in November 4th, 2024. I'm picking a random date, but you're relatively high after the market's already moved a lot. Your upside from that point is limited without having to sit through a pullback. If you're starting to get into this market now, you have some opportunities. This is a market where you will have brand new millionaires made. You will have multimillionaires made from this market. So keep everything into perspective. Keep your timelines in perspective. I'm not saying that's going to happen today. It looks like for today, well, we're going forward at least. We have a little bit of more room to the downside. The next spot's somewhere around 488. Maybe we hit that pre-market. I don't know. We'll check that in a second. Otherwise, you got room down to like 473. So that's the next spot. And then this market could get all the way to 437. But without the pullbacks, if you never have a dip to buy, it's very hard to get good pricing on things. So things are starting to come in. Make your plans now. I'm not saying go out and buy everything, but what I am saying is make your plans. Find those levels. I did a new pyramid on Nvidia, and trust me, this market gets frustrating no matter what you do into it. I set my first level like 8205, and I think we got to like 83 last night. So they want to miss me on a first level pyramid of Nvidia, which is wild levels. I'll show you guys that in a second, but they still don't even want to film me on that one. Nvidia 38, yeah, okay. If you guys want to talk Nvidia, now you guys questioning it already, questioning my levels. Yeah, first level I got is 8205. I think last night, I don't know if it's gonna show it on TradingView. Yeah, them. I think on TOS after hours we got to $83, something like that. So yeah, that's my first level. My last level, if you want to laugh or cry, depending if you're already in this one, it takes me down to $28.01. Do I think I'm gonna get filled on all those? No, but I'm putting some significant weight behind this pyramid. If in the case it does get filled, I'll be in big, and my average price will be pretty solid. So yeah, can this happen? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna get filled on the last level, but I'm extremely happy if I do. So make those levels wider. You even see pre-market, we're getting like $5 candles on the SPY moving back and forth for no reason. We will see, but it will be a good day, and probably a good couple days. Also, we do have the day trading mentor group starting today too. So that's the next one. It's a 3 month group. If you guys are unaware, you go to reallifetrading.com, go to, I think, I don't know, there's an education tab, but that is for the next 3 months. So if you are sitting there, especially newer to the markets, don't be hesitant to join that group. There's like 3 seats left. Um, but I want you to understand how the market works. I want you to understand the levels where you should buy if you are setting pyramids, how to stay alive in this market, how to generate revenue in this market while building up those positions so that you are the person that does have life-changing games where you are now into the millionaire category, the multimillionaire category, wherever you're sitting now. So take a look at that, check that out. That is starting today. Wendy posted she shot me a text. I posted it in Slack, but crazy gains. She goes, last 2 days, she's like, I was going off your levels. Last two days, I made 35,000, I think it was, Wendy. Ah, you just got the link there too. But yeah, check that out. I'd rather have I don't the group. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for people to take opportunities of it. Uh, so right now you can go in. You could put on monthly, like you could not even pay all at once. You could just do monthly payments for the 3 months. If you want to, if you're like, hey, I hate this, and you want to cancel, go ahead, just cancel. I don't think that's going to be the case. In fact, the group starts today at 1 p.m., so that's about 3 hours. So what I'll do is, and we don't have a link for this, so you're gonna have to email me if you're in Slack. You can just send me a Slack message. Otherwise, send an email to dan@reallifetrading.com if you do want to get in. The group itself is $4,200. If you do want to join, like I said, if I got 3 seats left, if you want to be one of them, we'll wipe it down to 3,000. So we'll take 1,200 off. But this is an offer that lasts today. You still do the monthly payments on it. So if you guys want, check it out. And if you're in the group, if you're already signed up, I'm gonna just extend that offer to you. So if you paid the 4,200 or wherever you're at, I'll just bring that down to 3,000. So I'll put everybody at the equal playing field. So if you're already in the group, don't worry. I'll give that to you. Otherwise, yeah. But shoot me. I don't have a payment link because I just made up the. I just made it up now. I want as many people to make money in this market. I want as many people to take advantage of this opportunity. I don't want people to get clobbered in these markets, really not know what to do, have fear, panic. Should I buy? Should I not? But we're gonna go through the next 3 months. We're going through every single level. We're gonna. I think most people in the last group made the full price of the course back within 3 classes. So I'm very comfortable with that. But check it out if you guys want to. Shoot me an email, dan@reallifetrading.com if you're interested. I have to get a link created, which we'll do today. And then, yeah, it sounds good. But for SPY, yeah, this is let's talk about the weight of the SPY real quick. All of the weight right now, and this is going to be unfortunate for the bulls. What's the one thing that could get us above it is tariff negotiations. Really, we had, I think, Taiwan, we had Vietnam. Uh, we had Vietnam that is pretty much looking for. They're saying, "Hey, we'll go zero tariffs on you guys." We don't have anything confirmed yet, except for negotiation talks. We really need China. I think we need China to come across the board with a solid deal. They're looking to increase taxes to go reciprocal to what we gave them. And now there's the element that Trump just re adds more to them too, and we're kind of in that zone. So I think we still have a big battle ahead of us. Otherwise, I do have a little level somewhere down here. This is my next kind of real level on the SPY. That one would take me down to 473.55 today. Look to get maybe held up somewhere around 488.45 into like the 484.38 zone. And then past that, we don't have really anything holding us up again until 454. So there could be a lot more room to the downside. Why I said don't go out and just scream buy everything. I think there's opportunities already in the market, but there could be a little bit more pain ahead before we get anything significant. Lawrence says, my buddy who deals a lot with manufacturing imports says, if Vietnam deal is made, that's huge pressure on China. It is. Yeah, that's what would start happening. The more countries that come to the table, the more countries that negotiate, puts a lot more pressure into China, and eventually, China probably could withstand no deal or continue to raise tariffs for a little bit longer. But if every other country has some kind of deal, there will be more pressure for them to come to the table. So, and I think that was kind of the idea of what Trump was looking for by just tariffing any country with a pulse, even the Penguins. I've heard even the Penguins. Q's not a great move down again. So day trade wise, this is going to be all retest gap. This is going to be into a little volume zone. We've already made a pretty big push off the bottom of these markets. And again, I don't think TradingView really does it justice from where we were at last night. But let's see. At least TradingView has us down to somewhere in the 400 handle. So that's popping up almost $12 off of the lows. Pretty incredible. I mean, if that's a crazy bounce, and you're still down $10. So, also another thing to look for is you do have your next pivot here. So watch this 414.53 zone. That's going to be a tough one. If we could get through it, we have a chance. Maybe we start climbing back into like 420. Maybe we have a full-on retracement. But before we even talk that, you got to get through 414.74. To the downside, you start to run into some support around 410. So there's a little bit there. Otherwise, get back to 405.64. And again, last night we made it all the way to 400. So the fact that we're above that volume is pretty decent. It is pretty decent. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on that one. And then so let's see. Bitcoin, I think last night also a little bit of a rough day. $3,500 price target for iPhones coming in for yeah, it could be. It could be. We'll see. Apple says they're going to put a plant here, a little manufactured thing. Your mortgage millionaire mentor says at DJ Dan, you mentioned Fibonacci several weeks ago with Bitcoin. It's dropped below 87. Can you please run the chart this morning? Yes. So again, in this zone, I've got nothing. Nothing really holding us up. So if we run that fib, and I forget the exact timeline we were using. So this is the one I'm looking at this point, though. This takes us into 79K is the 50% retracement. I have about 72K for my next level. That's a 618. Let's see where we ran on this one. To the lows, we got somewhere to about 74. And what do we need? So 73.5. So we got almost right into those numbers I just drew, or probably not completely accurate, but to the exact penny, but pretty close to it. So we almost got into the 618 last night. Starting to get to some volume. Look for your key spot on this one. If you break the 618, if you break down the 73 or really 72.5, if you start breaking that number down, see if we could hold 67,666. And then if that breaks, you got I kind of don't want that to break, but otherwise you got 63,415. Big move. Anything past 57, and you could be looking at levels back to about 42K on Bitcoin. If there's no buyers, but relatively speaking, Bitcoin is kind of still held up pretty good, but we finally got that decent looking breakdown on Bitcoin. I know MSTR is getting roughed up today. You got Coinbase also probably gapping down pretty decent. Actually, I thought this was going to be a bigger gap down than it is, so we'll see. You're holding on to one level on Coinbase, so I don't know if I'd go short quite yet with this down move, kind of opening inside day. It's actually holding in a little bit more impressive than I thought it would be. But if you start breaking about 147.90, I think then you have more room to the downside. Probably looking for about a 128 target price. MSTR, I did see was getting a little bit more clobbered. Still holding into that 200 on the daily, so it's got a little support. I have a couple of VPOCs sitting somewhere around 263.18, so somewhere in that zone, 260, 250 could be a little potential bounce spot if this market wants to continue down. And we're just until we get news, we don't have a reason to buy yet. We just have a reason to look at some levels and see if that could hold and if there's interest. But right now, we're getting to those levels where we hold for a little bit and then we lose interest, probably with the push of a headline or tariffs or something like that. So, but look at this one. If it starts breaking that 200, then maybe. Otherwise, Bitcoin at least got some kind of a bounce off of the bottom. We got Meta or off of the 618. SoFi. Yeah, we'll check that one out too. Meta. Get some of these lines off. Meta. That's a horrific looking gap. Again, this one's actually holding still stronger, I think, than some of the other Mag 7s. Today, it doesn't look like a fantastic open, although it is a retest gap. Let me see if there's a little bit of a wick on this one. You got a high wave indecision candle. So the decision, I think, has been made this morning. The Bears win like they've been doing. Let me try to find some levels on this one. A full-on retest into Friday's VPOC would take us into the 50806 zone. 50806. Before you get there, I think your next really good target, 499.74. This is my case that some of those shorts maybe take some gains. I don't know if that's the case really until you get down into like this 470. So I do have some targets a little bit lower. Uh, I'd have to give this one a little bit of time before the market tells me what direction. Watch, I think for today, 487.67. I think that's your bear trade. If you start breaking 47.67, I think I like it to the short side. Otherwise, maybe you're just hoping you can get some kind of a bounce. There is some room to play to the bullish direction, but I would need the SPY to act accordingly for that to happen as well. So I probably wouldn't take any trade on this one right away, or at least we'll see what the first 5 minute candle is. If it's not too, and that's been an issue the last couple days. Some of these opening candles, or almost every candle in the market, seems extremely wide. But if we don't get a wide candle, we get a high wave candle, that might be a case to go bullish, probably for 1.2. I think I'd feel more comfortable to the downside if we just buy it a little bit higher if it does bounce. But let's get that one a tad higher on the list. We got Palantir. Then we'll take a look at SoFi, PLTR. Palantir is a retest gap into a little bit of support, but right now that support not really holding. Yeah, you would have liked to see this thing, and we'll see. We still got 9 minutes, and each candle seems like it's $27 everywhere. So we'll see where this one opens. But anything under 68.17, I still think there's more pressure to the downside. The next level, not huge, 67.10. We've been there. We've already retested it in a small time frame. I think targets for today could get you to like 66.36 and then a little bit of a dramatic move. Again, I don't know if anyone's been paying attention, but we've seemed to have dramatic moves every day now. So next target that you might be able to hang into this thing is about 64.34. If you do want to get some kind of a bounce first, again, I'd see if this 68.13 could hold, but maybe it has some room to like 68.38. But it is it's going to be a challenge. It is a retest gap. Retest gap already sold off a heck of a lot. I think there's some more room to the downside. I don't think I'd be quite selling some puts on this one yet. That's a lot of volume that we're opening below. And then according to this, the end of that channel might even be like 61.17. Before that, you got your 200. I think there's some more room to the downside, but again, it's going to be a tricky short because you're down a lot over the last few days, and this is a pretty decent gap down. If you start getting candles that really close, I mean, your real spot might be a little bit higher than this, but anywhere below $58, and there's not a lot holding you back to like 43, kind of a small level, 36.68, and then back to like $24. So a lot of room to the downside. It's still hanging in there barely, but it is still hanging on to some of those levels. That's going to be an interesting day trade. for probably in the next couple days for sure. Let's see. Leonard says 2008 market dropped 50% and 2020 dropped 30%, but not as much panic in the news as now. Wonder why. Um, it's a controlled drop, in the sense that, for instance, pan we have a very specific. It's a self-destruction drop. We have tariff talk. We could get that talk to have a negotiation, and this entire market just rips. I think I think it's about 50-50. Some people think Trump is just going to hold these levels and we just escalate from here. And then others think that it's just a Trump negotiation and you're going to get some moves. But we haven't seen it bleed into the financials yet. If we start to hear banks come out and say that there is panic or runs on banks or something crazy like that, that's going to take a longer time for us to play out, but we don't see that yet. So right now, it's just all of what can be in the future of kind of just sitting in a zone of uncertainty where we don't know really if we've heard it from Trump that he's open to negotiations, but also this is a solid level for him. And that he came out over the weekend saying, I don't really care if the market comes down. This is what has to happen. So that's not really bullish for the markets, but we don't know anything yet. COVID was a like we don't when you have the entire economy closing, we don't know what's actually happening, but that's fully out of our control. Same thing with like the financial crisis, like that was something that we've already like we built it up to ourselves, but we don't know how long something like that's going to last. This could be a very short dip potentially if deals are made today, right? And then we rally, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks from now, we're back to on the SPY, the 600 zone or something, 595, and we're like, okay, we survived. So we don't know yet. So we don't really have to fear panic. We have to wait and see. I think you have optimism on both sides, the Bulls and the Bears. So I think it's a little different. Yeah, it's more human engineered on this drop than something that's we have more control over this drop on a news based level than anything else. We got Hood on the list. Take a look at Hood. Lucian says, wouldn't it be just like Trump to post that he had another good meeting with someone or post something he dropped the tariffs for some country? Yeah, I think there's going to be a certain level. I don't know why trading views slowed down. There is going to be a certain. What is going on with Hood? Uh, nah, that can't be right. Hood's not gapping up, is it? I think trading views messing up on me. Hold on a second. If that's a gap up on Hood, that's crazy. No, okay. Yeah, they were telling me the numbers were like 60. They said we were at $67 or something crazy. I was like, wait, hold on. What just happened? What I miss? Hood looks a little rough. We have a little support coming in on Hood. It is a retest gap. If this might be actually an interesting bullish case. We have to go a little higher. High wave candle on this one, or if we could get above $30.30, I've got no volume whatsoever to really hold us back at least into like 31.50. Maybe could cruise into like 32.15. Otherwise, you broke through this quick flush. That's kind of expected once we broke through this 31.50 zone. And then really volume doesn't really start coming in until 26.86. Otherwise, you got some room to like probably for today 28.61, something like that. But yeah, Trump could absolutely post anything. Good chat, good meeting. In the market, we saw it on Friday with Vietnam. The market just ripped out of nowhere, and that's going to be the risk to trading this market. And it's very volatile. Yeah, no, no, no. I did a little refresh. Hood is down. So for you Hood Bulls, I'm sorry for the you guys started celebrating a little early, but then the refresh right back to reality. Crazy times. Let's take a look at Apple real quick. I think there was a ticker in there, AAPL. If I missed any of your tickers, we still got 3 minutes left. Just repost them. I promise I skipped them. A lot going on today. We got Apple is another retest gap. Looks a lot like the rest of the market. Big level on Apple though. If you can make it down to 173.54, that's a very, very strong bounce spot for Apple. We'll see if we can get down there. You have a little bit of volume still kind of holding us up somewhere around 177.47. This one, hard for me to say I want to go bullish and play these retests, but this would probably be a candidate for the retest gap. There's a lot of room up until Friday. Not sure if we hit that. But if we start getting I think your next immediate target is somewhere around 179.33. If you could break through that, you probably got like 182.39 on the table. That would take you into some decent VPOCs, but even that would get you about $5 to the higher side. Otherwise, if you do nothing or we open essentially where we're at now, just be patient if you're trying to go bullish. Wait for I think 173.54. I think one of the best ways to handle this market, well, two things. But one is look for crazy prices lower that you're like, man, if this ever got there, like I don't think it's gonna get there, and then just put your order in because it probably will get there. It's just selling across the board everywhere. SoFi, I forgot to look at SoFi. SoFi. Um, SoFi, I want to see $7.34, and I might be able to re-enter my options play somewhere around there. That we did over here. We were up over 100% on that move. So we had pretty much leaps. We went out almost 2 years of time. Those paid off really, really well. And they might be back on the table. We took out gains. At least I think most of us took out gains, or maybe we're holding on to a piece somewhere. I know I'm completely out. But this is a again retest gap from Friday. If you hit if we get some buying that comes in, $9.54 could be your target. Otherwise, before you get to that point, you kind of held a important level, 8.99. We got a bounce there from the bulls on Friday, and now we're well under that. So look for that $8.99 for a bullish target. Again, longer term, I don't think this happens today. I don't even want to make statements anymore because who knows, but $7.35 would be my target. I don't know when we're gonna hit that, but that is the morning bell. Again, if you guys out on YouTube land, if you guys are interested in joining the group, starts today. It's a 3-month program. We meet live twice a week. We have pre-recorded videos for each month, each topic. And if you guys did want to do it for today, since it's starting, I got 3 seats left. I think it's a good opportunity for anybody, but we're taking $1,200 off on that program. So, but you have to sign up today. But just shoot me an email, and then I'll have to generate a link, and we'll figure out how to do it. But Dan@reallifetrading.com, and yeah, sounds good. You guys are awesome. Hit that like and subscribe button. Be careful in the markets. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Later, guys.